I wanted to get on and tell a little bit about my VIP kid interview process. I'm driving, but I promise I'm being safe. Well, first, my name is Ara, and I am an educator here in Columbia, South Carolina. I heard about VIP Kid while I was searching for online teaching jobs at local colleges, and VIP Kid came up, and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna check that out. And I did a lot of research, watched a lot of videos, and I liked what I saw so far. And I saw that it was around for quite some time, and I really enjoyed it. So I thought, hey, that could be a pretty cool opportunity for me. So I started the application process online and did my basic information, included, a little background about myself, and I was accepted. Then I did the video interview, and I chose the option where I record myself and do responses, pretend like the kid is listening on there, and that was the best option for me at that time. I passed my interview. I heard something back. It was no time, maybe 2 or 3 hours when I heard that I passed my interview. And then I got an email saying to start my mock 1. So I did my mock 1 the next night. I had a really interesting guy who was my pretend kid. He pretended to be a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. I thought everything went pretty well. He gave me some good feedback, and most of it was simple stuff like my lighting for the classes needed to be a little brighter. As you can probably tell, I'm not overly ecstatic like some of the other videos you may watch. That's just kind of not my personality. I did, alter my speech pattern a little and my energy level to fit the age of the child that he was portraying at first. So of course the 5-year-old was a little more sing-songy, but not too extreme. More like, hi, I'm Teacher Ara, instead of hi, I'm Teacher Ara. Get it? And he seemed perfectly fine with that. He could tell I had classroom experience, and we chatted a little while about that. Another pointer that he had for me was to use a corner of a room instead of a wall, and I thought that was extremely helpful. So in the second, I did not get through all of the information in the 5-year-old version, but in the My Country, My Culture, which was the older kid version, I got through everything, and he said I could have added 1 more minute for extension, but I was just so nervous about not getting through the second one that I did not even think about adding an extension, which I hope you do when you do yours. So I thought everything was nice. By the next day, he did not send me my written feedback or an email saying that I passed. I just checked back on the website, and I just kept checking and checking until I saw that it said that I could schedule mock 2. Once it said I could schedule mock 2, then I scheduled my mock 2, which was actually the very next day. And the mock 2 that I did was intermediate level, and I had a very nice lady. Her student that she portrayed was able to read and repeat and keep up for the most part. One of the pointers that she gave me that I took from it was, if you have a student that can let them. Which was a little bit different advice from the first guy, but it was sound advice still. So in my second half of that interview, I followed that advice. I still use TPR. I had bought these really cute monsters for my reward system, and the monsters, I had these little cutouts of watermelons, and they got a piece of watermelon for every time I was ready to give a reward. For my lower level, I gave sheep. So one thing she said about the feeding the monsters thing is she would have liked for my watermelon to been a smaller fruit so that I could stick them onto the monster and the student could count how many they earned so far. And I thought that was extremely helpful. She thought I needed more props. The subject matter for the intermediate level, I really didn't have a lot of the props that could have been used, but it was about pollution and loving the earth. And so I probably, in hindsight, thought of some other props, but I just didn't have them at the moment. So when she got finished, the next day I got feedback. And the feedback was everything that she told me positive was exactly what she said in the video. The things that she disagreed with, ironically, were everything that the gentleman had told me to do in the previous video. Stuff like she did not like my background, which I have a black wall with sparkles on it. She didn't like that. She said that the sparkles were shining back on the camera. She did not like the corner that I used, and I used a section of my music room to do it because by trade I'm a music teacher. And she said, oh, I wish I could have seen more of the music sign that you had on the wall. And I told her that the gentleman said to, in particularly, not to show that because it wasn't related to the lesson. So a lot of things, well, she didn't have a lot of things wrong actually. And I can email you or send you a screenshot of the things that she did say correct. I probably had about 15 things that she said were just amazing and outstanding, and maybe 3 to 4 things that she said was wrong during the interview. And then the contradiction came in a little bit with the things that she told me I did wrong in the interview. She didn't write those in the feedback. She wrote different things, but they were all things that I was told to do from my first interviewer. So in hindsight, it said I did not pass my mock 2. So I was so bummed out, and I was like, well, wait a minute, that feedback did not match, the vibe that I got from the class, and it just didn't add up, and the feedback was contradictory even to itself. I think at one point she put that I had excellent TPR and it was just the right amount for an older student, and then 2 paragraphs below she put that I needed more and I didn't use enough. So I wrote an email back to headquarters saying, all of the things that I did well seem to perfectly align with what you're looking for in a teacher, and I do not believe that the things that I needed improvement on were big enough for me to have failed a mock. And I requested that they, send me the amount of points or stars or whatever rating system they used and compare it to how short I was of passing, essentially, because I was planning on reapplying. And I already had a few referrals in process as well. So that wasn't going to work. I needed to let those people know that I wasn't going to make it through the process. So the next day, I did not get the answer that I asked for. Instead, what I got, to my surprise, was a letter saying, although you did not pass your mock 2, we still want to use you. And this is what you need to do. You need to do a new teacher kickoff. Register for your new teacher kickoff within 6 days, and you'll be good to go. So I registered, and that was pretty much all the information that it gave. I went on Facebook and I was asking everybody what it was, and of course no one knew what it was, and I was like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? And so I went ahead and did my kickoff last night. It was supposed to be 2 hours, but it ended up being like 2.5 hours. The lady who did it was very informative, and basically the things that she went over were the things that you took that first quiz on, the initial quiz. Things. She did tell us about something called the Hoo-hang or Hoo-hong. It's like a chat room / teacher rewards system where you can do things and earn points, and I thought that was pretty cool. The coolest one was you can earn points, and like your children can take Chinese, kind of like how VIP Kid works, but it's Chinese instead. And I thought that was cool, and I probably will be doing that for my children in the summertime. And so I went through the whole teacher kickoff. It was 9 other teachers on there plus a moderator, and she basically just went through some introductory things, how to find things in the system. Sorry, the sun is really in my eyes. And talked through how to find everything, what to look for, what to expect. Then she let us know that we would only be doing trial classes for a while, and then we can level up certifications to become full-time. And that's completely fine with me. Something is better than nothing at this point. So all of us were actually pretty fine with that. And when we finished it, she gave us a code, and we had to show that we attended. Once that happened, today around noon, I was able to log back in and access my contract and access where you upload your video and your pictures and your brief introduction, and then wait. So I'm in that waiting process. I just wanted to talk through my process a little bit in case someone is going through a similar thing and they're worried or concerned. Know that there is a new option available, and it may be extended to you. I don't know what the qualification was to get in it, but it appeared that of all the options that were over the 6 days, there were maybe 50 or 60 slots open for the kickoff. So that was nice. I do appreciate that they're putting effort into the process. Anyone who's worked in public school district or private school district, knows how much effort you have to put in to get hired, to get certified. So I do like that they are taking the extra effort to put in and make sure that it's people who want to be educators and who want to work with students and want to be an important part of a child's life. So I thought that was extremely cool. I'm looking forward to getting official where I can set a schedule and accept some students, and I cannot wait until then so I can get an accurate and clear depiction of kind of what it's like. So I will come back and put another video later if people are interested in my experience and see what happens. Hope you have a wonderful day.